Rosen.
Fight Week Show fans, Fight Week Show people, then we are back with another episode 12 of Dust Up Shakedown. And helping me to do that this week is Mr. Naz, my brother Naz. How you doing, my bro?
Big up, man. Per usual, I'm always here, ready to talk about what's happening, what's happened, and what will happen.
For real, man. And we got a special guest indeed, Mr. Jordain from the Rambling Dad podcast, man. How you doing, my bro?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Thank you very much. Cheers for having me, man. Been a long time viewer. Always wanted to fucking jump on with you and get it done. Glad to finally make it happen, mate. And pleasure to meet you boys, mate.
100%, man. 100%. We've been, we connected on Twitter a long while back. You know what I mean? We're
man.
Talking about fights, always chiming in, and even like doing like conversations of threads, if you during live fights and stuff. And
bro, I remember back in the day, it was you and your girl that were sitting doing the fight companions on the couch, just having a few drinks.
That's right. Yeah, for real. So, cool. Yeah, man. Thank you for joining us tonight, man. It means a lot to have you on, man.
Yeah, mate. Happy to be
here. Hopefully, we're gonna see you a little bit more on the channel.
I'm sure you will, mate.
As we go along, you know what I mean. But we got some topics to cover. Man.
Yeah, man.
And Vicente Luque. Let's start with the card that just finished. Vicente Luque RDA. And I want to come to you first, Naz. Luque, we know what he went through. He said, he made mention of it in his post-fight interview. We know what he went through with the health situation after fighting Jeff Neal. Hands are still, and bro, that hands are still. He put some pause on him. He put some pause on him, bro. To the point where we didn't think Vicente Luque was ever going to compete again. But to see him in that fashion and compete against someone like RDA, you did say in the previous show that RDA is just a bloated 155. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's disrespectful, man. I think he's a 165, and that's what he really is. But that class doesn't exist in UFC at the moment. But other than that, he's he could beat a lot of top 15, top 10, top 20. Between that bit, welterweights, and now Luque. I love Luque fought in a way where it was more safe. He could fight a few years, don't have to worry about that brain bleed. As long as he's not hungry running to the top. If he slows his pace down and he becomes that guy where he doesn't mind taking on the 10th, 12th, 15th, whatever rank, he could be in the doing a nice smooth run, earning his show and his bonus. Well, I thought he put a clinic against RDA. And honestly, I feel like if he made it more stand-up, he would have got RDA out there possibly. But he was fighting more safe, and honestly, for me, that's because of the brain bleed. But I'm happy to see him back. It's a good story. I love UFC's track record. The medical record is crazy. Like no deaths. I'll say no major injuries. I know there's a lot of people that leave UFC and go on to other promotions and have major problems, but it's almost like when the UFC cut you and you're an older age. They're almost telling you should stop fighting. But yeah, Luque, he's perfect at this stage. And I just hope he doesn't try to rush himself or, do something silly like a rematch with Jeff Neal. Not that Jeff Neal seems to be ready anytime soon, but that's another separate subject. We'll touch on that later.
Yeah, 100%. Jordain, let me come to you. I feel like RDA, where does he go from here? Because I was thinking, what more does he got to give to the 170 division, even 155? Because in his last fight, they came out and maybe I'm gonna have one run at the title. You know what I mean? It didn't quite happen like that. He's gone to 170, fresh coat of paint, and he's just been beaten by Vicente Luque. What's your take on where RDA goes from now?
I'm not too sure, man. I mean, like you said there, he's very credited within his career already. He's already smashed fucking everybody. He fights absolutely everybody. I seen a post the other day. Can't remember who put it out on Twitter, but they were basically saying, he was there since Conor McGregor was in nappies. He was there since fucking DC first started wrestling. You know what I mean? He was there when the first man created fire, basically. Like he's been around for fucking days, mate. I don't think he's got anything else left to prove. Like you say, he said he wants to go for that title run again. Obviously, a win over Vincent Luque probably would have put him in the position to start looking ahead and see where he can go from there. But he's like the gatekeeper of the top 10 at the moment, isn't he? Yeah, I mean, like everybody that wants to get through the top 10 needs to get through RDA first. And not to shit on him, not to put him down, mate. A few more fights, and I think it's time to hang up the gloves. With all respect on the name, I mean, like I think like he's had a phenomenal performance, an ex-champion performance. Sorry, a phenomenal career, an ex-champion, and I think a few more fights under his belt. Maybe go out with a win and see how that goes.
Yeah,
he's getting paid well. I'm sure he's on a high level.
Oh, fucking sure, he's getting funny money, like.
And I'm sure.
I mean, look, being a gatekeeper these days, sometimes it's seen as a disrespectful role. But
not at all, mate. Not at all. You set the bar, I mean, like.
Sometimes you got to know your place and play your position. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to play your position in the division, bro. If you really give a fuck about that division like that, and you want the best guys, only the best guys to go through, even though you know where you're at, and you say, all right, I can't go that much more up, but I can look after this division and make sure that only the best really get through over here into the top 10 or something like that. So let's see what it does, but I don't know if he's got that much more fight left, especially in those two divisions, man. Like there's savages in those divisions, bro. You know what I mean? Like all of these young guys that's coming through, they're all savages, and they're gonna come after him. They're gonna come after him.
You mentioned the lightweight as well. I mean, what could he drop down that extra little bit and see what he can do there? Maybe for a few more scraps, see where he can go, mate. Yeah, I know. Yeah, how old is he? 39. If I'm honest, I thought he was in his 40s. Like I thought he was fucking older than that. Like fucking we're 7 years behind the dude. You know what I mean? But and I'm counting him out.
He's got one of his bodies though. Mine's a bit of Romero. A bit of a hope. So if he goes up that way, he might last long. But yeah, man. I mean, it was a good card. Shall we go to the next fight, or we've got another?
Well, we're gonna get there. Let me just give the Bloody Good Show a quick shout out, man.
Bloody Good
Show. We've done a little collaboration today. Jordain actually put us together, put us in the right direction, and we got that going on. So people keep an eye out. You're gonna see the work, man. The work is going on in the background, and they're doing a bloody good work. I was impressed with what I saw today, man. So salute to you, Paul.
Man, your page is looking fucking fly, mate. Yeah, man.
I mean, him, man, you're real locked in. Them two locked in like a lab room. Two scientists just talking some crazy science.
Techie text.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? I ain't got a clue what these people be talking about, but boy,
they're
doing the Lord's work, man. So big up to both of them. Salute to both of those guys.
Big up, man.
I want to come to you, Naz, about Cop Swanson, because this one here is close to my heart. This is my country, man. That would do. You know what I mean? You said
who called it?
You called it exactly.
How did I say it? I said, tell me the judges before. And I text the group. Yeah, these judges, he's winning. From what I'm seeing, like it almost reminded me. There was so many different little nuances, and from the fact that he hurt him and then last seconds of one of the rounds, done a little Pacquiao, as I call it, shun at the end. Sometimes that's enough to still around unless there's a differential of strikes by double digits. But the difference was like 2-3 punches in the first round, 5 punches in the second, or whatever significant strikes, however you want to count it. However, I thought, I could see it. If I wanted to give it to Cub Swanson, I could it wasn't even like a hard one for me. I could have easily given it to him. It wasn't hard. I think it was I would give it 2 rounds to 1. But I remember watching it, I was thinking this is going to go Cub Swanson. And all of you, man, were shocked. All of you, man.
Like, everybody was shocked, man. But boy, you know what? I can't lie. I was happy I made the decision I made. But before we get to that, Jordain, what did you think of that fight, man?
I'm not getting into this, boys. You can fucking have at it all you want now.
You thought Cub was going to lose, Nick.
I'm with Naz as well on this one, man. So if I'm honest with you, I didn't think. I think did I have Cub? I think I put Cub in my picks just for a fan favorite, like for me. Yeah, I mean, one of my favorites, man. But in the fight, I did think it went the other way. If I'm honest, I just felt like the volume, and I thought like, don't get me wrong, Cub was landing some good shots. You know what I mean, body shots were wicked. He was landing some big digs when they were getting in the clinch and stuff like that. But I did think that it had gone over to I don't even want to say his name because I'm going to end up butchering it. You know what I mean? But
what is his nickname? Mean Intentions. Like
let me check.
Mean something that would do. There's someone said they have to change his name to Decision or Split Decision. That would do.
He does get a lot of decisions.
Just Mean, that's his name. Just Mean, yeah. Fucking Hakeem Mean Dawadu. That's a pretty badass name, right? But
so
it was a good fight.
Even Cobb himself, he said in an article that he thought it was 2 rounds down. So. He even him didn't think he won the fight. He thought it was 2 rounds down. You could see the damage as well, the damage that was caused.
Remember the takedown?
He played them judges though by bringing his kids to the octagon side. You know what I mean? Put 3 little kids there. Just don't want to see these kids cry, mate. You're gonna have to give it to Cub Swanson there, like
100%. And people, if you haven't subbed to the Bloody Good Show, please, as you're watching, whether you're watching live or you're watching on playback, go sub to the Bloody Good Show, man. Go follow the Rambling Dad on Twitter. Go follow Jordain _91 on Instagram. Go and check it. All of those. My boy Khalil Roundtree. You know what I mean? I've been high on this brother for a long time. You know what I mean? And I'm just happy that he's in a place mentally where he can really go and apply his skill set. And how dangerous is Khalil Roundtree with the way he's looked especially after coming back from Thailand. From from Thailand and just going hard into Muay Thai. I mean his kicks, apart from Barboza, his kicks is one of the strongest to take.
Yeah, but his leg weighs as much as Barboza does when he makes 135, 145.
In terms of how effective, them kicks are, man, you know what I mean, on the opponent, weight differential aside, I mean, he's got to be one of the best kickers and strikers. I'll say in the 205 division. What did you make of his performance, Jordan? Did you?
I thought he was quite patient, to be honest with you, mate. So when I was sitting watching it, I was like, he's not really. Yeah, he was waiting for the counter strike, and Dackhouse was getting some wicked shots off him. He was fucking pressuring. He was pushing forward. He was landing some good combinations, and you could see though that he was just waiting. Roundtree was just waiting on the time, and he kept parrying his shots away, hitting them down with his hand, and he was just waiting for that counter strike. Yeah, I mean, and he fucking landed that sweet one, man. Was it straight? Was it straight, left straight, or right straight? I can't remember now, but mate, fucking solid strike. Dropped him on his ass, jumped on top of him, and just started fucking landing some decent shots. I mean, was it Herb Dean that was the ref? Couldn't even get in there quick enough before he landed.
He super late, mate. Combination of being late all the time.
Yeah, man. There's a few wonderful memes of Herb Dean, like, but
Justin Poirier, Ngannou, all of them.
Dean's been getting it a little bit lately, man. Like, but the big slide. Who did he slide in for? He done a big slide.
Dustin Poirier, the people's elbow.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, I couldn't believe that. I forgot them. Herb Dean to the rescue. But check this out. We got Chris Darkow, Naz. It's now on a free fight skid. And this is a debut at light heavyweight.
Yeah.
What does he do?
Bro, he doesn't have the light heavyweight speed, man. He needs to go back up to heavyweight and try to just fight at the lower level for another year or two. And hopefully, if he could win at the lower level and start building himself up, and I don't know, man. He just has to level up because he will not last in the UFC the way it's going. He might even get cut now. I do think they like him for some reason. I'm too sure. They did cut his brother. They might feel deep about cutting him as well. They might give him one more chance at heavyweight. And if he wins against a bigger, slower, lower ranked guy, then possibly he can start coming up in the lower ranks and give it another year or two, just let him fight in obscurity in the back. But if that doesn't happen, then he has to go out and start again because his police officer job is gone. Yeah. And he just can't go back to that. the way the laws work and the things.
I mean,
Man.
just
He had
just
no
to add
choice.
to that as well, he's taken a few knockouts recently, hasn't he? I mean, he's been KO'd a few times. Is the chin gone? Yeah, I mean, because I thought he looked good for coming down to light heavyweight. He looked pretty decent. Like he was getting the strikes in there, but then when you come up against the power of Roundtree, it's just good night.
Folded.
You know what I mean?
Especially someone as good at striking as Roundtree as well, man. It's going to be a long evening, man. In this case, a very quick one.
On a separate note, Khalil did come when they asked him a Sean Strickland question afterwards in the press conference, and he refused to talk about it. Apparently, he stole Sean Strickland's girlfriend, and Sean tried to make a joke about it to him, and he made a report in the PI saying he's being abused. I was like, Khalil, you pussy.
He's bullying me, man. He's bullying me. That's fucking amazing.
Mental, man. That's mental. I mean, boys, some of the fuckers that be going on.
Apparently, that's the only ever complaint form ever filed in the PA ever for the last 5-6 years. It had it. So, Khalil, you hold the record.
That's mental, man. Marcus McGee against JP Baez. I mean, South Africa another win, good win as well, man. And JP Baez again. I mean, we said a lot of this on the preview. How many of these fighters that are coming in on free fights, kids, and if they lose, they could be getting caught, you know. And I'm looking at some of these fighters. I'm looking at some of the news that we might be seeing. I don't know for JP Baez, but let's talk about Marcus McGee and that submission. What did
submission? It was a knockout.
It was
a knockout, mate. He stepped right hook, and it was fucking beautiful.
It was a kind knockout. He didn't do an Ngannou. He didn't do a Herb Dean follow up. He allowed it.
Oh yeah, he knew he was down. He knew he was gone, and he just stepped back from it.
I really like this McGee guy.
The fighters that are coming out of South Africa, though, bruv. I mean, we speak to quite a lot of them. He's another
new
one.
generation is going to be sick.
There's a nice crop of them. Shout out to South Africa MMA. Shout out to EFC and all those fighters that they push.
Mate, that side of the world, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, they've all got some fucking incredible.
Well, South Africa's crazy, man. If you watch EFC, if you watch like 2 or 3 events, you'll see like 50 different African flags. South Africa seems to have all of fucking Africa there. And then they got other people from around the world. Then they got other people from different descendants. And it's like, it's such a melding point. It's like, wow, how do you have so much different talent, different people, different backgrounds? And it's working well, man. And then, it's only like $80 for the whole year to watch unlimited EFC. So sign up, guys.
Yeah, man. Go check them out, man. Go check them out. Especially we got 2 fighters that will really fuck with on the show, and they're going to be fighting on the 7th. On the 7th of September, they're going to be fighting for the flyweight title. Both of them, Gift Walker and Terrence, the Black Panther Balelo. They're going to be fighting for the flyweight title. So people go.
I'm officially with Terrence, the Black Panther, and he's a G. He actually shouts out the fucking fight. You know, if he makes it to the UFC, he'll actually shout out the fight week show. He's a real one.
Yeah. That brother be showing love, man. That brother be showing love, 100%.
Real one.
Let me talk about Terrence McKinney, because I thought it was a quick turnaround from the last loss.
Oh, T-Rex.
But T-Rex came back in an impressive fashion. Naz, did you like
I was very impressed. I was, because this is a cuttable offense. You know that? This is a cuttable offense with his fight record. You know, it's borderline there, and this was cut day. It's definitely cut day. UFC made this event so he could cut fighters. And I was just thinking, all right, is he going to be a chopping block? But did he show up and did he perform? I mean, he did live up to that hype again that he's a 1-round fighter. And that's the only worry I have. I do want to see him get a late knockout one of these days. But he's back. He's looking happy. I rate him, and I want to see him, you know, get another good fight. The last one was a bit iffy because of the cage grab. This one here made quick work. I'm not sure if he got a little bonus. Did he get a bonus, Ola?
No fight of the night.
He didn't get a bonus. He should have got a bonus.
50K. No 50K for my man. But they paid him
it was a good win, man, but I don't think it was performance worthy. I mean, when you look at the rest of the card as well, the prelims smashed compared to the main card. Main card set off a bit slow with the decisions coming in. Yeah, I mean, then obviously you got to the submission with the female fight, but I thought McKinney looked good, but it wasn't like that pop. You know what I mean? That quick bang finish. He came out fast, like he always does.
Yeah. Like he does always, yeah.
And Breeden just did not like his power at all. You could see it in his face as soon as he landed a left. That first left that he ran at him first and hit him with, he was just like, "Fuck this, I'm out. I want nothing to do with this, man." You know what I mean? Like, and you could see it. He was just up against the fence and just getting pushed away and had the pace pushed on him, and that was it. Good night.
Yeah, he has mad power in the first round, man.
Yeah.
Right. There's a question that we spoke about last on our last show, but I wanted to get your take on it. This whole situation with Alex Pereira not making weight and Wonder Boy not getting paid.
Michael Pereira.
What's your take? What's your take on that situation there? Because UFC till now ain't sorting Wonder Boy out.
So it's a funny one, isn't it? Right.
What's
so
going on?
from the weight cut perspective, yeah, the dehydration is fucking massive for those last few pounds. Yeah, I mean, I had a few back and forth with people on Twitter about it as well, and I wasn't talking about dehydration. I was talking about just weight overall. Like, they walk in there well over whatever weight they do go into, like whatever weight they're supposed to be. I mean, they weigh whatever they're supposed to weigh for about fucking 2 minutes, and then they go out, they have a munch, they put all the weight back on, the water back into them, whatever else in the back in there. But that dehydration does take a big effect, and I can understand with Waterboy's past experiences of it, Darren Till, etc., why he didn't want to take it. Yeah, I mean, didn't want to go up against a man that's not had to dehydrate himself as much as he has, and potentially lose the fight when he's at the later end of his career and he's looking to get a title shot before he fucking hangs up the gloves. For the payment side of it, you need to remember it's a business. So for the fan side of it, and yeah, he should be getting paid. Should he be getting paid his foot? Because you also need to remember Wonder Boy isn't somebody that's just came in on a 12 and 12. That man's making $250,000. You know what I mean? And the UFC going to whap out $250,000 for a man that didn't fight when they offered him another opponent and he said no. You know what I mean? So it's a sticky one. I'd like to see him get paid, but maybe not the full purse. Like, it's a funny one, man.
And the rumors,
go on.
The rumors are saying he's going to get paid like 25 grand altogether,
just to cover his camp and his costs and whatever else. Yeah,
and they're going to turn him around soon.
Really, he should be getting show money, man.
Come
on, bro. 250K for what? Turning up and saying, "Nah, I'm not going to fight."
That's what
I love Wonder Boy. He's one of my fucking all-time favorites, mate. He's up there in top 5, top 10 of all-time favorites. Yeah, I mean, but you need to think of it from the business perspective, like.
Yeah, I just think, boy, if he's in the contract and that's his show money, and he made weight and turned up, and his opponent didn't, he's not obliged to.
But did you see the clip of him in the hotel before it? He walked up to him and he pats Pereira on the belly and he says, "Yeah, we just need to get this rest of this weight cut." It was like he fucking knew, because obviously Pereira's missed cutting weight in the past. You know what I mean? So
I hear about this one now.
It was like he knew he walked up, man.
He's saying maybe when it was like 25, 27, yeah, maybe would have took another fight on the win. But at 37, it's not spring chicken no more. You know, you got to start being a little bit selective, a little bit. You know what I mean? Worry about who you fight and who you get.
I wouldn't get in there and take his kicks, but Jesus Christ, man. That's another thing as well about Michael Pereira's kicks, or Michelle Pereira, sorry. Like, that big backflip he does on people's heads, man. Like, yeah, he's got some fucking crazy, wild shit. Is that not illegal? Yeah, I mean, you're not allowed to knee no motherfucker when they're on the ground. You're not allowed to do nothing, but this dude's like, "I'm just going to backflip, bro, and you can do fuck all about it." You know what I mean?
He don't even know what he's going to do sometimes, man. He's a fucking nutcase.
I love it. I love Pereira, bro.
Yeah, mate. I do. I thought that was going to be one hell of a battle, man, especially with the two of them. I mean, karate style versus, I can't remember. What the capoeira?
Some kind of capoeira.
Man. Yeah, man. Like some fucking wild shit. Take some mushrooms and do some flips or something. Like, I don't know what the fuck he's
he tamed himself compared to his younger self. I can't wait to see them both back, man. If anything, I'm looking more interested in Pereira, to be honest, because he's 29, reaching that spot in life. He's getting his shit together. He's not going crazy, like batshit crazy no more, but he's still putting enough there. I want to see it. I can't wait for it.
It'd be interesting to see if they tell him to move up, because he's missed weight a few times now. So maybe they're like, get up a weight class.
He's got to start thinking about it, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Young enough to not do it, though. Only after 31, 32, if this combination happens, then you got no choice. But at this age, if he just, I don't know, if he just fixes up just a little bit more, tightens it up a little bit more, shave that 3 pounds of hair he has, that hair that he loves. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Wouldn't have needed to cut weight at all. Just cut your fucking hair.
I mean, the energy that him and I'd say Johnny Walker, those two, when
Yeah,
they
man,
headed
Johnny
into
Walker's a
the
boy, like.
into the octagon, the energy they bring, man, is like, do you not even got cardio left by the time you got into the octagon? Some madness before they even get in there. It's crazy.
The sandbar, the Zumba before they enter.
That's it.
It's a madness. It's a madness. We got a big pay-per-view card coming up this weekend.
Yeah, man.
2 title fights on there. Aljamain Sterling versus Sugar Sean, and we got Zhang Weili versus Amanda Lemos on the co-main event.
No one cares about that fight. I'm just reiterating what the podcast have been saying. Like I was watching MK and they were just like, "Oh, no one cares. This is a low-key ever title fight." Maybe all the China will be watching this, but
you know what I mean? Look, I want to see Zhang Weili do work, man. And
do you really though? Do you want to see a quick knockout, or do you actually want to see a tested?
No, I want to see
a quick knockout. I want to see
something close to what she and Joanna had. If we can get that, I'd be happy. You know, I don't
think we're gonna get that in this one, but I can see Yang fucking just going out and doing what she needs to do, man.
Yeah, man.
If she could just summon that Mulan power.
I don't feel that's gonna happen again, but if you can get that, man, or something.
That's what I want. I don't want 5 rounds. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, 5 rounds going into the main event. Me and you didn't watch along this shit, bro. Boston time is kind to us, bro.
Yeah,
Bushu the dragon on the shoulder as she's walking in there.
Bro, I can't wait for this fight though. But back to the main event, which is the only thing we actually really want to see. You know what I'm saying?
All right, you know what? Let's talk about the main event then. Let's talk about the main event. Aljamain Sterling versus Sean O'Malley. I'm gonna come to you first, Jordan. Yeah,
yeah, man.
With the skill sets of both of these guys,
yeah.
Are you worried for Sugar Sean? Are you worried for Aljo? What were you worried for going into this weekend?
I wouldn't. Fucking hell. I don't know about worried. I don't know if that would be the word that I would use, but
I tried. Sean I tried, people.
Sean needs to get it done in round 1 or 2 if he's getting it done at all. Yeah, I mean, and he needs to keep the range. He needs to keep it on the feet. If Aljo gets too close and he takes him down to the ground, it's his backpack time, innit? You know what I mean? I'm not the biggest. I'm not the biggest Aljo fan, if I'm honest. Personality wise, he just doesn't fucking resonate with me. Skill set, you can't knock him, man. You know what I mean? As far as this GOAT conversation goes, I ain't there, mate. Dom Cruz is my GOAT, like, but yeah, I think if Sean's got a chance, it's round 1 and 2, and it's going to be one of them big left hands, good night, or a big fucking head kick, or something that it needs to be, something spectacular to fucking put him out there, because he's got a chin as well. Yeah, I mean, Aljo can take a shot, like, he's not fucking soft. But I think if it gets into those later rounds, I think the grappling exchanges are just going to get the better. I think Sean's going to, I mean, you've seen what it was like with Yan. You know what I mean? He was having to use the fence. He was having to use gloves and all sorts to get up. Like, he was doing a bit of the dirty work in there. So, yeah, later rounds, I'm going with Aljo. Early rounds, I think it needs for Sean. But, yeah, that's my picks on them anyway.
Okay. Naz, we know how much of a Ray Longo fan you are. Matt Serra. You know what I mean?
Ray Longo's the man, like. Ray Longo's the man.
You love that crap there and what they got going on. Tell us your take on the bout.
I used to dream about moving there in my mid-20s. I was like, fuck this London shit. Big up Roger Gracie, man. That was a good jiu-jitsu gym. But you know what I'm saying? That'd been sick, man. Those managers, for me personally, this GOAT talk should be going to him. He's going for going for coach of the year, 100%. If he wins this with the Weidman tie-up and what happened on yesterday's contender series, as well as what happened before, I think Nazim rep 1, Marab's coming free. It's just it's endless. He's got this guy Pumi,
Steamroller, Billy Q, all the team, man.
He is a steamroller who you just interviewed. We'll go watch that interview, banging steamroller. Just if he wins this one, especially we'll talk about Wyman later, but Aljo, if he gets Aljo in, he'll also enter that GOAT conversation. And I know Dominic Cruz is still your number 1. Yeah, Dominic Cruz is still your number 1. And John Anik always goes on about this. It's like everyone he speaks to, like about Aljo becoming the GOAT, they always hit back with no Dominic Cruz. The WEC was an extension of the UFC, basically. Dominic Cruz. Aljo has more wins than he does in both WEC and the UFC combined. I'm saying Aljo's taken to the next level. If he honestly beats Sugar Sean and the dust settles on this division in the next 5-10 years, you might go back and go, maybe he was the GOAT. You have to see what happens thereafter.
Well, I think he might move up. He might move up and try and go for Volk after this. To be honest with you,
see what happens. Does Marab do a mad one? Does this?
Yeah.
And then after like 5 years of it changing,
that's another one that annoyed me as well. I know the best mates and all the rest of it. You don't want to fight each other, but bro, if BFFs for life, mate, I get it. But at the same time, if you two motherfuckers had kids, that show would be completely different. You're trying to put food in your fucking table. You wouldn't be sitting there going, "Oh, mate, that's my best pal. I'm not going to fight. I'll knock your ass out." We don't have kids now, right?
I don't know if I agree with that, man. I don't know if I agree with that. I think what the logic that you're saying that look, if they got families to feed, they got food, they got people to feed on the table, and they got kids, family. Maybe their mindset will change, but I'm here to remind you about Vicente Luque and Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns is married with kids, and them two said they never fight each other, you know, and they come from different part of the world, and they say we will fight. We ain't fighting. I don't care how much money UFC puts down. I'm not fighting Burns. Burns ain't fighting me.
There's a few examples, and when they do fight each other, they're dead fights anyway. They're the most boring fights ever when two best friends fight each other that don't have ridiculously bad blood. The ones that have good blood between them, it's always a terrible fight. So it makes sense on multiple levels. They're following DC and Kane, and Aljo is what coincidence that the timing came, because I don't think Aljo wants to make weight again, and I support his move up to weight if he beats Sean O'Malley. And I don't know about Volkanovski straight away, but someone that's decent, I don't know. Ortega or Zombie, I don't know, someone like that first time, but I think he is going to be Sugar Sean. I think about Sean O'Malley, I don't see him throwing any knees, because if you watch a lot of highlights of Aljo, anyone that throws like a knee type of thing, they get taken down most of the time. He must have learned something during that Marab moment. However, he's been hurt twice that I've seen, and that was both knees. One was illegal, but it was still a knee. It will take something big to hurt him like that. And I just don't see Sean O'Malley throwing a lot of them just out of the fear of the takedown. He will throw head kicks. If you throw good head kicks, DC says it, one of the best wrestlers in history.
I think
throw good head kicks, you can't take them down. Yeah,
I was going to say, I think that's the ultimate neutralizer there, what you said, the fear of takedown, especially for a striker like Sean O'Malley. And Sean, very, very accomplished striker. You could see the way he throws. He doesn't leave much opening. He doesn't leave himself open to like takedowns when he throws. But
he's so quick with it as well.
He's so quick with it. You know what I mean? There's no wind up with it. There's nothing. You know, he's got telegraphing it,
and he's got the reach advantage every fight.
Yeah, 100%. Like you mentioned a minute ago, mate, is he going to go for any knees? I think he shared something the other day where he was sharing something on Twitter where he was pointing out when Aljo goes down and he's going to come up. So I don't know if that's just some mental warfare to make Aljo think, right, that's his game plan or what. Yeah, I mean,
very possible.
Because when you do the knees, bro, the most of the time they land around the torso area when you do it for his bend back takedown. Like I know he's seen enough footage when he's coached where they've realized, okay, he does a lot of his takedown during his half kick knees, higher leg kicks. Yeah. You got to really go for a powerful head kick with almost a body spin. And that
you need to think about how fast he's diving in.
But you always man, I want to see as well, like the question mark kicks are going to be crazy. And everyone, you know what's funny, these kind of fights, when someone disrespects one part of someone's game, every now and then it comes to like bite you. It reminds me of Showtime and Ben Sensen, where you didn't think Showtime was able to tap him. You know what? He tapped. But you never know, Like Funky might do some funky striking, some crazy counter back fist of a double counter that Sean's going for. He might just do something crazy on the feet and hurt him. I mean, I saw him get hurt against Peter Yan, even though he hurt him straight after that. I was okay, so he doesn't have a Superman iron chin, even though he's a big boy for this weight division, Sean. But Aljo is the biggest boy for this weight division. He's cutting the most
Aljo's
weight.
a bit of a weight boy in this fucking.
It keeps coming
I
up,
mean?
bro. It keeps coming up, this weight thing. And it's come off his last 3 fights. Like, even Cejudo's like, are you going to make weight?
Yeah,
It looks like too much.
He always makes me comfortable though. I don't know what he must have invested good in his.
Bro,
Man's
he's
looking
messed up one
jacked
time.
as well. Like, you seen that motherfucker in this last week or two when he's been posting these shots, mate. He is ripped. Oh,
He's
fucking hell, man.
Ripped. Jamaican special
Absolutely.
jeans. The same bottle, the little ripped, bro. I was like, what you're feeding him, man? My man's looking ripped, like, and I think he's gonna come in strong because he's learned from his one mistake against Peter Yan the first time. He's never gonna cut weight like that again. He done some next thing, eating the PI's meal at a certain time and didn't water load on the last day. And he's never going to make that mistake again. And I'm sure he's always going to have 5-round stamina. Even if it's not going to be the highest output, he'll still be able to go 5 rounds. But do you guys think Sean could do 5 rounds comfortably?
I wanted to touch on the good thing first, before
the goatee, I'll see pictures of goats.
When you look at the people that he's beat, right? Just look at the people that he's beat. We're talking former champions as well. We're talking Yan here. We're talking Cejudo here. We're talking Dillashaw coming back. Like, how many former champions do you need in a title defense?
Yeah, you're talking Cejudo after 2 or 3 year retirement. You're talking Dillashaw with a dodgy fucking shoulder or whatever it was coming in. You know what I mean?
He still remains.
Yan, the second fight with Yan, I'll give him that. It
still remains though. It still remains.
Yeah, I know.
That's why it will take years. It's going to take years. And then imagine Sanderhagen becomes champion. Then that's it. It's going to be like 10 years down the line. But like, this guy beat T.J. Dillashaw. He beat Sanderhagen, who became the champion afterwards. He beat X and Y, Sugar Sean, who became champion. You know what I'm saying? Then it's going to look miraculously good. You'll be like, oh shit. This
like on paper, when you look at his CV, you'll be like, you know what? Actually, I can see why they're looking at him like that.
Especially 10 years down the line. No one remembers the busted arm and the split decision and the water.
Yeah, true.
True.
You're not convinced, Jordan. You're not convinced.
No, I am. Like I said at the start, I'm not knocking his skill set, man. The dude's phenomenal. I've watched him since he came into the UFC. He's been fucking great. I've always enjoyed watching him fight, but the way it all happened with that Yan fight and his attitude after it, and then all of a sudden being all hunky dory and shit in the back. Oh, bro, yeah. I mean, there was just things that I was like, nah, mate. Wasn't vibing with it. Yeah, I mean, so that personality wise, that's the only thing that done. He's funny at times as well. Like, I do look at his content that he puts out, but.
We try to convince Jordan, man. Aljo, man.
You can try, boys. You'll be here all week, guys.
At least you like the Longo and Sarah gang.
There's the consolation there, man. There's the consolation there. Serious. And big up Matt Frivola, man. That's jumped on our channel.
Steve, on this subject, should we go to Weidman as well? The next Longo guy.
Yeah, man. He's back on this card as well, Nick. Is he headlining the
Weidman's on this card?
He is, yeah, man.
Let's go to Weidman. Weidman's fighting Brad Tavares, isn't it? And the last time we saw Weidman,
2021.
What's the brother's name again? He didn't strike.
Uriah Hall, bro. Uriah Hall.
Uriah Hall, yeah, he lost against Uriah Hall. Yeah,
escaped me for a second there. Uriah Hall. You know what I mean? Just they didn't lay a strike, not one single strike, just a check of that first kick. And we saw what happened with Chris Weidman, you know.
There you go.
Do you think breakages like that, because that's not the first one he's had? Like, Naz, do you think he can come back and not at least have that in the back of his mind when it comes to using it for striking? I've
been following Weidman quite a bit for a Longo, watching all these interviews, even the smaller podcast. And he's very confident. What little footage he's leaked out convinces me. He's kicking hard. He's got a nice metal rod there. He keeps talking about Anderson Silva. He's trying to emulate the person he beat. He honestly thinks he can come back, win this, and even win a few more. He wants to do exactly what Anderson Silva did. I think Anderson Silva might have even fought double-digit fights after that leg break. He went on for a bloody while, including his boxing career, of course. But I think Chris Weidman is also that guy. When you hear about all the legendary things about him, from his banging 10 out of 10 training camps that Anthony Smith rants on about, to the beastrous things he done back in the day, in the beginning of the longer training pool. I'm just thinking this guy is built different. If he's built different, then this won't affect him madly. And I reckon he's actually gonna finish him on the ground, a little ground and pound. The wrestling will never go away. He's still gonna be a big boy. And I'm looking forward to the Chris Weidman comeback and adding to the Ray Longo GOAT status.
Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice to see that camp do well. You know what I mean? I like that camp a lot. I've always fucked with Masera.
Yeah,
I think him and Aljo fell out for a little while or something like that. Then they had a little disagreement, a little tiff that went on in the house, but he's all sorted. He's back in his corner. I think this is the second fight. He's come back with him out to the corner now. Because he wasn't coming out to the corner. We weren't cornering him for a little while, but yeah, he's back in the corner now, and I think he's going to be cornering this fight as well. So we shall see. Clarissa Shields. Let's switch gears here a little bit. She announced that she's gonna be she's just signed a multi-fight deal with PFL. Do you not think she can cut it with what you've seen from her so far in mixed martial arts, Jordain? Because I know it takes some doing to convince you. I'm starting to get a good read on you, man. Like, boy, you're hard to convince on certain things. But please,
if I'm honest, mate, on the little knowledge I do have on Shields, mate, she can probably do quite well in the PFL. Completely different style of like tournament based. You know what I mean? Rather than like fight after fight after fight, she could definitely. And again, PFL is not something that I actually watch every bloody weekend either. It's one of them things that I need to get into a little bit more. It's probably not even on every weekend. You know what I mean? It's on whenever it is because of the style of the way that they do it. She looks good from what I can see. Like, I don't want to say too much because, like I say, I've got little knowledge on her. I don't really want to sound like a fucking idiot anymore than I already do.
She's supposed to be fighting a man. She's supposed to be fighting his brother, man. Like, how Naz? How is that gonna work? Like, if this brother decides to
fighting a dude,
yeah, for charity,
PFL.
no, PFL boxing.
Boxing! Fuck off! What they doing? Fucking cross-sex boxing now? Like, is this on some YouTube shit? Is this what's fucking going on,
bro?
She's gonna get a skull caved in. I don't even know who the dude is. I don't know shit, but she's getting a skull caved in. There's no way you're putting a woman against a man. Like,
I couldn't believe what I was hearing when I heard it, bro. Naz, what the hell's going on? Is your mic alive, man? Naz? Yeah. You're back.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm thinking this is fake news. They're trolling. And I see, it's charity. I start reading into it. I'm like, okay, maybe this can happen, but it doesn't make no sense to me. I'm like, why would Keith Thurman? He's meant to be training, bro. Man meant to be training for like a big fight soon. I'm sure. I'm like, what? Why would you all of a sudden be like, oh, let me fight this? It's embarrassing for me to even suggest that. I'm not a fan of Krista Shields, man. I don't care about her going to.
She's got a big ego about her, isn't she? From what I can think about interviews and things that I've seen her in, she's a bit.
She outweighs him in her boxing weight class.
At one point, people were bigging her up and say, "Boy, she could beat Mayweather in a boxing fight."
They thought she was 2.0 as well in MMA.
Nah, no
chance.
There
was a lot of hype about her. None of it came through.
I think it might have been something with Molly McCann that I've seen her in. Like I say, I've not got much fucking knowledge on her, like, but nah, you ain't fighting a man, bro. That's just not happening.
I do not see how that's gonna happen. I think she gonna get spark cleaner. This is a former boxing world champion we're talking about in Keith Thurman.
Oh, he wouldn't do much boxing, man. He's gonna do.
It could be.
You know what
I mean? Like, I don't know what's going on there, man. I don't see it. I don't see how she gets a win, and if that guy brings a haymaker from the gut and lands it, bro, she's going to slip, bro.
He's got my power.
No.
On this boxing,
it was a spanner in the works. That one, like, where did that one come from?
Yeah.
Fucking,
it started off from PFL. I mean, we do fuck with PFL people, and you know we're trying to. It's growing. They're gonna buy Bellator apparently. So if PFL buy Bellator, they can actually fuck with the UFC.
Yeah,
that's it.
I don't know if they can fuck with them, but
no, it's gonna become a thing where ESPN will be like, maybe we should keep them. I mean, once they come off ESPN, they're gonna lose a lot of hype around them. But PFL keeps coming up, man. Every single where I go, every time I watch something, I hear about PFL.
But they had a few people pop recently, and then they've invited USADA in. And I was speaking to Ben David, a few, fucking half the roster. Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah,
if they bring in USADA, what's it going to look like? Like I said, I was speaking to Ben Davis on my podcast, like, and I never even knew this. He brought it up saying the way that it's going to work is like if they bring in USADA, and I get it from the business standpoint, they're probably going right. We fucked up. This is what we're doing. This is the next steps, and this is how we're going to fix it. Yeah, I mean, they're trying to show like there's a path of how they're going to make this better. But from a standpoint of looking at the structure of the tournament, the style of it, and the fighters that they've got, half of them going to pop when they get fucking tested. You're going to lose half your roster straight off the bat. How are you going to have your tournament based style things? Then like it's buy them fuckers and just bring all of them in. Yeah, I mean.
They have to look at that structure again, man, and see how they can move forward with it. Like you said, if half your rosters pop, like you can't put shows on.
Okay, let's just go old school and just let them smash it out and see what happens. Yeah, I mean,
pride.
Yeah, mate, just go pride rules and just see what happens.
You will not be tested for drugs. How can you say that in the contract in bold letters? The rest of the
Paulo Costa comes walking up with his secret juice. Fucking yes, mate.
I think that's what Jake Paul is doing. I think literally he's putting in his contract. I do not want to be tested. I do not want to be drug tested, mate. You know what I mean? If you want me to get drug tested, jog on. I'll find somebody else that don't want me to be drug tested. And all these fighters are taking the fight because whatever the bag is, it must be good for them to be taking the fight, and they must be getting paid. At one point, even Bisping was considering it. But what did you enjoy that guillotine there from Nate Diaz at the end?
Fuck yeah, mate. I mean, that was fucking classic. Honestly, see when he walked that in, and then you see Jake in the interview afterwards going, he actually fucking walked it in. I thought he was going to choke me out. I was like, yes.
He should have just done it, man. He should have been, fuck this, man.
Yeah, should have just fucking gone for it, shouldn't he? Like, that'd have been the biggest news of it all, man.
It's already. I mean, people have been saying it, and it's true. I go back to the Leon Edwards fight with Nate. Nate has a way of losing the fight, but making everybody think that you lost. Like how
we fucked around with that
4 minutes, and then make Leon Edwards look like that.
You lose the battle, but win the war. That's what he does every time.
No, it's because you can't put him out. He's never been knocked out in the UFC. You know what I mean, in anything, he's never been fucking KO'd. So the fact that you can't put him out there, Nate's like, you never won that fight because you never put me out. That's his mentality. You know what I mean? Like,
and he's sleeping for a minute or two, and he wakes up all discombobulated. That's when they're gonna lose respect for him.
Imagine he wakes up a genius, though. Yeah, you know I mean, goes to sleep where he's talking all that shit. Wakes up like an educated man.
Wrong way.
No, Nate's incredible, man. I
love him, mate.
I love both the brothers, man. I love him, man. Because of Nick Diaz, I actually have to smoke weed in sports. All because they call it the Nick Diaz law.
Fucking hell.
I think you can do fucking anything in the UFC these days as long as you're not doing it during your camp. They don't give a fuck as long as you can say it's recreational.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
If you want to jump on that fucking chemfetamine, yeah, I mean, go for it. Like, but
so check this out. Let's finish on this. Let's finish on this point here. We finish on this one. Conor McGregor. We just seen Anthony Joshua. Win his fight against Helenius, right? Conor grabs him, drowns him with forged stout. I said, bro, get that down here. Gets in the ring. And like you said, cocaine is a hell of a drug, bro.
It fucking is, like.
He gets in there. I start doing the most. He calls out KSI. But what's going on with Conor? Like, you're supposed to be fighting Chandler. You can't make the USADA testing pool. We're hearing Dana's trying to force the fight to go ahead.
He's a marketing genius, isn't he? Yeah, I mean, he knows what he's doing. Like, he's just keeping his name in the fucking spotlight. Yeah. He's just making headlines, and he knows none of it's going to happen. And it's what he does to keep himself relevant. And he's fucking spiraling out of control. But what was it he's saying? Couldn't box eggs if he worked in a box factory, mate. Last time I heard that joke, I was on the fucking high school playground or some shit. Yeah, I mean, like, fucking, and he thought it was hilarious. He said it about 50 times. So I was just like, couldn't box eggs. I was like, fuck you, shut up. Right.
Oh, McGregor, man. He's losing his ability to do one-liners as well.
Oh, he is, isn't he?
I was
Too
going
much
to say
stout.
to you, Naz, what did you make of the way the way he was even just to say conduct himself in that post fight
It was
interview situation
embarrassing.
there.
He looked like a little Irish leprechaun, posing up some giant guy trying to feed him some, celebration juice. That'll probably Anthony Joshua pop the pre-test now. Thank you very much. Goodbye to
God.
Wilder fight. Honestly, McGregor's embarrassing, man. And he's chatting shit before to another. What's the guy with the long hair, man? He came on the Aerial show a couple of weeks ago. It's Davies as well. So the main MMA like boxing guy, the long hair, BBC reporter, or whatever. One of the journalists, he spoke to McGregor before, and McGregor was like, "Yeah, I want to fight." Huh?
The Talk Sport guy.
Yeah, with
Is
the
that
long
what he's on?
wavy hair.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, he always comes on
I
every
know who you're
show.
about.
And McGregor, I think he didn't look as fuck, and he looked like he was, because I know from past stories what they said, McGregor respects him to a degree. So he told him he wanted to fight Chandler, and then he said he wanted to fight Justin for the BMF, and then Diaz or something like that, or the vice versa.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, so he said Chandler Diaz, Chandler against Diaz.
And then he goes to the bathroom a few times, comes out, all of a sudden he wants to fight KSI. He comes out the bathroom like, he went in all normal. And he's like, oh, fight KSI. Oh my days, Gareth Days.
It was the way he done it as well. It was just like this false fucking props to AJ, props to Daz and Sports, props to this whole promotion. You know what I mean? It's been a great event. By the way, me. I'm gonna fight this man over here.
Literally winning. Seriously, man. Big up Diego C Palace in the house. I see you, man.
Big up Tight Ginger, man. Mind you.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Tight Ginger. Hey, people, we've now come to the end of the show. I enjoyed this week's topic. Big up to Jordain for joining us this evening, man. Salute to you for joining us this evening.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
You got to join us for the watch along, bro. You're class, man.
Oh, mate. Yeah, well, that's what he's invited me on Saturday, mate. I can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Jordain's going to be joining us for the watch along for that main event. You're going to be joining us for that main event.
I mean, halfway through, you'll probably see me like that. Fucking falling
just
asleep.
make sure you get that fight sleeping. That's the secret.
That's the secret. That and
you joking, bro?
Energy drink.
Fight
18-month-old daughter upstairs, mate. That ain't ever fucking happening before the fight night. You know what I mean, there might even be times I need to dip off and be like 2 minutes, boys. I'll be back because she's woke up or something. But fuck.
Yeah, man. There's time for all of that, man. No problem at all.
But seriously, mate. Like, fucking love this. Thanks for having me. Like, really appreciate it, and I'm glad we finally made it happen because obviously we've spoke about it a few times. Like, it's been fun.
Mean, I don't need no invitation to just sit down with a group of my brethren and just talk combat sports, man. Talk MMA. I love this shit, and that's why I love doing it so much. And Naz, it wouldn't be possible without you. You know what I mean? Week in, week out, every Wednesday will come out
all the time, bro. This is
down
all the time. Guys, there's no barbershop for me to talk about this. This is the barbershop.
So it's always.
Are you trying to take the piss, mate? I told you at the start I needed an haircut, and now you're bringing that up at the end. Like,
get down there.
I might even get it done for Saturday, mate. So I'm looking fucking.
One question before you go: what team do you support?
Football.
Yeah.
Oh, do I have to do it? Man United, mate. Man United, mate. I was raised in Man United. You knew that was fucking coming. You knew that was coming. You gunners, mate. Yeah, I mean, sitting there, Arsenal supporter. You can fucking shut up. What have you won? What happened last season? Yeah, what happened last season, bro?
At the Emirates. Don't start talking crud right now, man. You know what happens.
I do not want to open this kind of words.
You know what happens at the Emirates. Never win down there.
I've just got a text. I might need to work on Saturday night. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to come back for this.
It's too fucking that crud, brother. It's too early, man. You know what I mean? No, too early for that.
Man. Nah, man. Let's end the show on that, man. That was a good one, man.
Hey, people, salute to everyone. Big up to you, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching on playback. Big up yourself. Thank you very much. Hit that like button, share button, subscribe button. Go subscribe to the Rambling Dad and the Bloody Good Show. Go and subscribe to those guys. Go show them some support. Go show them some love. And please join us for the prediction show on Friday. The Fight with Scoop is going to be coming out tomorrow. And Saturday, we got the watch along main card, the main card 292 watch along. So come and join us for that. We got special guest fighter professional fighter that's going to be joining us as well. We're working on 2, and hopefully we're going to be able to get 2 of those fighters in as well, middleweight and heavyweight. That's all I'm saying on those 2 fighters at the moment. So just keep it locked on the Fight Week show, and when we come back, we're going to be bringing you some content. And up onto them, people, salute. We're out.
Big up.
Peace.